Welcome to UNCUT with Why podcast, where we discuss topics that helps, harms, and honor our community. We speak unapologetically and say everything that y'all are afraid to say. Here we're going to tell the truth uncut. Now let's talk. Welcome to the show. Today we have Yolanda Diamond, a native of Georgia, here with us today. She lives in a small town outside of Atlanta. She's the author of a children's series, young adult, poetry, fiction, and nonfiction. Diamond is also a speaker, actress, entrepreneur, Diamond Cultures, and a TV personality of the upcoming series, The Queenables. Diamond has passion for storytelling in various genres. She writes page-turning, mind-captivating, and cliff-hanging stories. She has written over 20 books. She has contributed to filming to National Geographic's Ex-Cons of Atlanta and a screenplay, That Summer with God. Diamond has worked with the Anne Frank Center, The Pen, various newsletters, and magazines. She also has a passion for creativity and helping others. Let's welcome her to the show. Hi, Yolanda.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad you could be here for me. I love the support. So I wanted to tell everybody, usually I have a topic, but today I'm just interviewing you because you have a unique story that I think, people should know a little bit about. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name is Yolanda Diamond. I go by Diamond or Yo-Yo. I have a story to tell, and I'm happy that I'm alive and able to do so. I started out young selling drugs, which led to what got me incarcerated. And what got me incarcerated was the young man that I was selling drugs to. We went to the store to get my youngest son, which was 3 months at the time, some milk. And he ran into an old friend of his, which thought that I was cute. And he wanted a ride. And so we was going to take him for a ride, and I never returned home.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what happened.
Okay, well, once we started riding, of course, throughout the day and the evening, I was getting high, I was smoking weed or whatever, and at the time I was using cocaine, I was snorting cocaine, so in the process of selling drugs.
You were also doing drugs. Oh.
Yeah, I had an addiction as well, but because it was late over into the middle of the night. Well, they ended up taking me out to a wooded area, and I was sexually and physically assaulted. Yes, unimaginable things were done to me. I actually thought I was going to die in that moment. However, they held me for like 3 or 4 days, and I was tortured, literally, in the sense. It just...
Speak freely, love. Speak freely.
Changed my life forever, because prior to that, I had already gone through sexual assaults and a lot of trauma. So with the sexual and physical assault from my co-defendant, it was unimaginable. And from there, they committed a crime in which I was forced to drive the vehicle, and which ensued into a high-speed chase. He held a gun against me, so I was driving under duress, and I ended up slamming into another vehicle, and
oh God,
I just don't remember the whole scene. I can tell you about the pictures because they brought the pictures later, but the co-defendant was ejected from the truck, and when I came to, I was handcuffed to a bed at the hospital. And all these people were standing around me telling me I had killed people. So, of
Oh,
course, I was disoriented and didn't know what was going on. And so I was like, kill somebody. I ain't killed nobody. And so following that, they ended up taking me to the county jail. So I was in the infirmary for a few weeks until I healed. My face looked horrible. I knocked one of my tooth loose. During the process, I got a cut in my head, a scar that is permanent, several. So those are reminders. But months later, once I had an attorney and they brought photos to the jail, they showed me the scene of the accident. And I'm telling you, I live with this every single day.
I'm sure.
Our entire family died in that car wreck.
An entire family?
An entire family. So to see the actual pictures, that's when it came into reality for me. Because I could not believe it had happened because it was like I didn't see it.
Who were the family, if you don't mind? Like who? Like what?
I can't tell their names because I did sign an agreement.
Okay.
Not to close, share their names, but
okay.
It was 2 grown females and a 5-year-old child, son in the back seat, which they flew him out, I think, to try to save him, but he was dead upon arrival. And one of the young ladies was pregnant, full term. So
you were sentenced to how long did you do in prison for this?
Okay, first they was talking death penalty, and I don't know if that was a tactic to scare me or whatever, but then I received 3 life sentences plus nearly 100 years because they charged me with every crime you could think of. Most of them the same as my co-defendant, with the exception of some. So once it was all said and done and they ran it concurrent, it was 1 life sentence plus 25 years.
So, we know that's not the case because you are free with us today. You
know? Thank God.
Yes, you are free. So let me ask you a question because you were held against your will to do that. So your attorney didn't speak about that, didn't bring that to the judge's attention, the jury, or anything?
Yes, they did. And so he got, like I said, he got multiple charges outside of what I got charged with. But the thing was they counted it as because I willingly got in the vehicle from the beginning with the guy I was selling drugs to, that I was selling dope to. So they didn't consider that kidnapping, but they, I think they charged him with, what is it when you hold somebody like you want?
False imprisonment?
False imprisonment or something like that to those extent. But so he did get some charges, but it wasn't kidnapping.
So you got the most. You end up with the most time.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he was a career criminal, so it was a lot of stuff that came out in trial that I didn't know about the guy because, of course, this was a complete stranger. I caught this case with a complete stranger.
He's still incarcerated at the time?
I don't know. I do know that he got 3 life sentences plus 100 years or more, but his was ran consecutive. So 1 life sentence you do, then you do the next life sentence. So,
oh wow! Okay,
and then it is without the eligibility of parole. So he will die in prison if he is not already dead.
So tell me, out of that time, how much did you serve in total?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. 22 decades.
Wow. That's a long time. So, do you have any regrets about this? How do you feel about it, like now? Because you've done 20 years. I'm sure you feel like you have had the time to forgive yourself, correct?
Yes, I have. And thanks be to God that the victim's family also forgave me.
Wonderful.
So that was the beginning of me forgiving myself. Yes, I live with it. Yes, it'll always be on my heart because I am very remorseful. That's just a hard bag to carry. I don't care how much time go by. They are forever in my heart. Yes, I forgave myself as well.
You sound like you have a true remorse too. I can hear that in your voice that you have remorse. But you say they forgave you. How did you get them to do that? Like, what happened with that?
Well, during that time when I was fighting for my freedom, because I knew I had not intentionally set out to hurt anybody, and even though they did lose their lives, I just, from a vehicle accident, I thought the sentencing was very harsh, a murder conviction. Mm-hmm. I thought it would have been vehicular homicide. I did get vehicular feticide. That was for the unborn child. But I wrote the family. Well, I searched for them first. I searched for them for about 12 years maybe or longer. But I was writing the district attorney. I was writing the victim's impact. I was writing the judge. I was writing programs. I was writing everybody and anybody I could. And I had a friend that was on the outside, and she helped me complete the mission. She did all the footwork for me from the outside, and she found them. And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote to make sure it was the correct family. And eventually they wrote back. And
wow,
that was the beginning of moving forward to the forgiveness. I did openly and honestly tell them everything that I did in my life, good and bad. Mm-hmm. I did not hold anything out. I was very honest because I had my share of mistakes. Like especially the selling of the drugs. I was honest about it. And the mom took the initiative, and not everybody in the family was willing to forgive me, but the most important ones to me, I felt did, and the parents. So they wrote me back, and we started to bond over time, and
wow,
they forgave me and encouraged me to continue becoming the best version of myself. And to just do what was right from that day forward. They sent me birthday cards. They sent me Christmas cards, holiday cards. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So it wasn't nothing but God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's powerful, Yolanda. Oh, my goodness. So I do want to know a little bit about your experience while you were in prison, though. Because that's a long time, 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to ask a personal question if you don't mind, though. So did you experience, same sex while you were in there? Were you with that?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
You had,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had a girlfriend. Actually, she was bringing my children to see me for many, many years.
Wow.
Yeah. And practically nearly my whole entire sentence.
Oh, wow.
So she helped raise my children and was in with my family. So I was super grateful for that. And we, in fact, lived together once I was released up until about 2 years ago. So she rode with me for the relationship just ended recently. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So what about now? You like men?
Well, I don't have anything against men. I will date a man. Mm-hmm. Of course, I have children, so it's not like I won't. I just love who love me.
Okay.
So it can be a man or a woman.
Okay. All right, I hear that. I'm gonna shift it from that. I know that was a little personal. So what about now? Do you have a good?
I'm an open book.
I know. I wouldn't put you in an uncomfortable position. So right now, do you have a good support system? While you're out and free, and do you have people that's a village for you?
Yes, I do. I have a great family, and we are very tight knit, very tight knit. And it was that entire way for most of my sentence, actually. My family came to see me. It didn't matter what prison I was at. I mean, it was times when they couldn't, of course, but because most prisons was hours away, but they made time to come visit me. Yes.
Okay, and you're
institution I was at.
And then so in your bio, one of the things you're doing now, you're doing things like that, right? Like giving back to the community and trying to stop people from making the choices that you made and the things you've done, like lead people in a different path from your own experiences. Is that what you're doing now?
Yes, absolutely. I mentor where I can. And I also always try to give back in the community. And I'm waiting for the community center to open because I'll be volunteering with the youth. Youth Connection is what it's called. So yes.
Oh, that's wonderful, Diamond. I know that makes you feel like you're making a difference, especially since you had to go down such a, I don't want to say a horrible path because look at where you are now. That's a lot to experience, but the person you are now, you have your right mind. You still have your family here for you, so that's really good. And again, I've met you, so I know your personality is amazing. And I know, like you said, it takes God to forgive you. No one else, it needs to be God and you forgive yourself, correct?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
And that's what matters the most. So I want to talk a little bit about your books and stuff because you have a lot of them. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Okay. I have several books, as you can see, stacked up right here on the table, but I have written over 20 books, so maybe 30 or 40 books. Over here in my bookshelf, I have manuscripts that I have not even put out yet. So I continue to write. I have a 10-book children's series that's out on Amazon right now. It's called The Imagination Station. And then I have Faith Over Fear, which is my story. It entails everything that happened more in detail. And a screenplay has been written off of it, adapted from the book. It has not been produced yet, but I have produced and directed the sizzle for it. So I'm working toward pitching it out to production companies.
Okay.
I have fiction books that I have written. I have poetry. I have young adults. I have sci-fi, erotica. So I write in all different genres.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Did you start writing in prison or when you got out?
Yes. While I was in, I actually published probably my first 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe I published my first 12 to 15 books while I was incarcerated.
Okay, you did something with your time. I love it.
Yes, I was writing away, honey. I was writing, writing and studying.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm looking forward to seeing.
I also taught the Authors Club while I was in. So I had people, I taught a class to other inmates to teach them how to write and get books published. Then they allowed people to come in from the outside. Mm-hmm. And so I taught people from the outside too.
Well, there's a lot of people that need that. So you need to make sure you leave. We're going to leave your information, your social media with us. Anything you want to say before we let you go today?
Be kind. Kindness is everything. Love doesn't hurt. And do not take life, your choices, or anything for granted. Each one, teach one.
I know that's right. Oh my God. Listen, just looking at you, seeing how positive you are, like I said, you have a good spirit. You would never think you've been through what you have. So that's something good. You don't look like what you've been through.
I do not.
Yes.
Look like what
You don't. You don't. Thank you. You don't. And you continue to show for people like you are for me today. And, I love having you here. I hope to be able to have you back again and talk about some other things.
Will.
Yes, I want to thank Yolanda Diamond for stopping through today. That's my girl. But before we close out, I like to leave with something positive. So I do want to, kind of piggyback from what you said. Life is precious. Do not take it for granted. And with that, see you next time. I am a successful businesswoman. I have a business called Wigs Beyond. You can find that at Wigs, WIGSBEYOND 2024.com. I'm an author. I have a book called From a Pawn to a Queen, and I'm also an actress.
Dudeovadere Entertainment. We turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. If your dream is to become a photographer, we have a nice intimate photo studio just for you. If you want to record that next hit song or do voiceover work, we have a state-of-the-art studio also for you. If you want to professionally record your own podcast, well, we have that too. Check us out at www.TuneIn.com. We are the only ones to turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities.